Hey, I'm Scotty, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to sketch this lighthouse with a really beautiful sky using ink and watercolor. So we're going to start at the bottom here. So we'll go up about an inch there. Now from the top, from this dot to the top there, let's go halfway between and put another dot there. Now we also get this height and turn. So we want this tower width, and we can do that by coming up from this side and then a third of that way across. Let's draw an angle down from here to there. Shed on the side, impressionistically going around things. Slight curve from this dot here to here. Let's go halfway. So now let's draw that building in, and then from this point here to there, halfway, straight down there like that. If I have those three dots there, this section is shorter, and this is a longer, and this is shorter again. See, there's a subtle angle, a little bit down. So I'll come down this way. Should come right across and should be equal. So that should look about the same as that one. Let's draw that line there then. The same as this one. Parallel to this line. Join those lines up. Now let's add some width to this roof. So come across this way. Okay, I'm going to turn my page right down here, straight down vertical. We go across to about halfway here and straight down and create the second box. The bottom of the tower here on the roof to here, and we double that distance up, and then we can outline that dome and continue it down straight down this way. Create that second little section there. Okay, vertical lines there. Follow some of those rocks. Make this section bigger than this one. I think that's important. And go across to halfway towards there. Just a light line of that, and then a wispy line underneath, a thin one. To the top of the horizon, and then another little line. So we've done all of the big shapes. Now we have to go and do all the details. Let's start with some birds up here. A little bird there that I'm going to add in. Make sure you got his head, and then the wing going out. I'll outline this little like dome, mini dome. Maybe it's an antenna. And then the bottom section is there. Just outlining that shape. Go straight down. A window now there. These black things that hold the tower together. So I put it there because I left the gap. It could be slightly different. And then this other chimney. Just go over the lines. So a really light line here. Then at the bottom here, we'll add a dark section, so a dark line, then some odds and ends that are sticking out there, a ladder down that way. So we've got 8 dots. Now let's join them up. And look a little bit different size. There's some detail on the side of the building, a little red sign and a green. Some very light lines, just little silhouettes. So quad bike across there. So now I've got 4 sections on this back building. Let's add a window. There's something there, I can't see what it is. Place her in here. Just impressionistically outline that area. Smaller little stones that have been placed on that. I'm going to start putting some straight lines. And we're coming up, and we're just seeing the left side again, just like these ones. So for the sky, I'm going to use my round 12 brush, the big one, and add water to this top section, so just plain water. So starting at the top there and just bring in, don't have to go right to the border. Imagine that even this is the water bit, you can't see it, the colour will go to wherever you've done the edge of the water. So I'm imagining this will be colour. Grab some lemon yellow, so it can be quite saturated. Usually I have a light wash. We'll start just above the guardrail here and put some of that lemon yellow, and then just spot it in. Don't have to brush it in too much. You can use a red. I'm going to use alizarin crimson. Add in some of that yellow, lemon yellow. Add in this strong orange. And here, as we're going not right to the bottom yet, we're getting that orange. Now add a bit more alizarin crimson. Alizarin Crimson is just a little bit cooler than Cadmium Red. And then we have Payne's Grey. And add that along the top. And add some spots into that orange. That's dry. We can start doing the other features. Like I'm going to add some Cadmium Red to the top here for these roofs. Around the chimney and down into that corner. So let's do that as well. I want to include those while we've got red. Then Payne's Grey, and around the windows we'll add in that white frame later. Leave gaps between areas, so even these little objects here you can leave white like that. And these rocks on the side, they are darker than the middle stones. So there's a bit of green here too, so grab some sap green, and it comes across this side. And there's also a mesh, and it looks like it's burnt sienna, like an orange. So that mesh bit of the fence. And with burnt umber, we'll mix it into the top of the Payne's Grey, light browny mix across the top, and go around all the other colours. You can touch a bit. It's coming across, then more Payne's Grey right into the corner here. So just a bit of permanent rose. And going across here, don't touch the edge, and then you can add a little bit of blue. I'm just going to put that in and do this background here. Now add even more there and there. So shadows, I usually use Purple Lake. I think it'll look better if we use Ultramarine in this one. As we said before, the light's on the right hand side, shadows on this side, and I'll come down, and then we spread it down this left hand side, quite a big stroke down there. Then this whole side of the building there, like that. But then at that edge, stop and then come down. So then there'll be a shadow across this section because the building is blocking the light hitting there. On the back of the chimney, we're going to add little strokes to show that it's water. So horizontal strokes. Now just some little saturated dots now. These are the details and the highlights. And some dots on the corners. So I've got sap green. Just adding some. So I have my Uniball Signo pen. So I'm going to outline these squares around the windows. So I have to use lots of little tiny strokes with this to get the ball rolling on the watercolour. And this one will stand out more because the background is darker. The edges, little reflections in the rocks, and along each one. Now let's do lots of horizontal lines. And that's how I sketch a lighthouse with a really beautiful background there using ink and watercolor. I hope you enjoyed this process. If you want the full tutorial without all the cuts, it's got a lot more theory in there. Plus we have the reference and the template which will help you to sketch this along with me. That'll be all over on my Patreon membership. And there's also a community where you can post your sketches and I can see your work. Otherwise, there's another tutorial right here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.